Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Bleed Norwich YouTube channel. Today we have a little episode on Vladan Kovacevic, and I have Polish Premier League expert and journalist Kacper. How are you,
Yeah,
Kacper?
yeah, I'm all right. Warm welcome, I could say, because I guess in the UK there's also like inferno going out of the sky, if I heard correctly.
Yeah, no, it's it's been sweltering this week. It's cooled down a little bit, but when I say it's cooled down, it's still in the mid 20s right now. So you know,
Yeah, we are recording this on Friday. On Wednesday, I believe we had like 35. So yeah,
Christ.
Europe united in a heat wave.
Yeah, no, that's it. But Casper, tell the Bleed Norwich viewers a little bit about yourself. Yeah,
Yeah, so we met at the university. I had pleasure to study at a university in London, and I've come back to Poland. I've basically been my whole life in Poland, except that break for the university. I'm a football fan, like probably most of you are watching are also. And yeah, when Vladan Kovacevic has signed for Norwich, I just reached out to your lovely host, which, as I said, we met at the university, had a lot of fun times together. And I said, if you want to do a piece with him and you're looking for someone from Poland, you know where to reach me. And now here we are.
there we go. That's how it all comes around. But yeah, we'll touch on Vladan Kovacevic. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce the team right, but he was it Rakow or Rakow?
Yeah, it is. He started his career in Poland at Raków Częstochowa in 2021. I have some stats over here so I don't look dumb. So if I'm dodging the camera, so don't worry about it. Yeah, he was brought from FK Sarajevo from Bosnia. He was basically a homegrown player there. He is a decent goalkeeper. I'm gonna preface that because he there was a couple of years, like 2 or 3 years, when he was at Raków, and he was basically consistently picking as the goalkeeper of the year. I think he has two awards. One award went to Dante Stipica, a Croatian goalkeeper playing for my team, so big up. Um, he was transferred at the end of last season, 24-25, to Sporting. Before this season, sorry, to 24-25. He went to Sporting, but in Lisbon, he didn't had many opportunities to play, basically. But after a half of a year, in February, as I can see from Transfermarkt, everybody's favorite website,
Yeah.
he went to Legia Warsaw, and in Legia he was meant to resurrect their goalkeeping facilities because Legia was in a weird place when they had a lot of young goalkeepers. I believe Kacper and I forgot the third name. And Kovacevic was brought in as not even as a backup, but as someone experienced who might give them some competition in goal. But sadly, he couldn't find form from Raków. Um, Legia had a difficult season altogether, even regarding the fact that they won a Polish Cup. I was at the stadium because my team, Pogoń Szczecin, was in the final, and yeah, it was devastating, especially regarding the fact that previous year we also lost in the final. So if you think Tottenham is shit, I mean, imagine going 75 years without a trophy since the beginning
Christ,
of the club. Yeah,
Jesus, yeah,
yeah,
painful.
Tottenham has nothing on us. Like if someone is listening to that and they are looking for a documentary, welcome to Szczecin. Like I'll be your tour guide and all sorts of that.
Yeah.
But back on the topic, yeah, Kovacevic has made an impact ever since he went to Raków. And one very important thing, Raków isn't a very established side in the Ekstraklasa. They had a couple of seasons in 70s, I believe. But after that, they got relegated and they went down the pyramid to the fourth tier. And people often associate Raków with like third, third league, fourth league, and stuff like that. And then one of the millionaires from Poland, Michał Świerczewski, who is a fan of the club since the beginning, He's from Częstochowa. Oh, sorry, cat on the keyboard.
That's all good.
Yeah, we should alive. We should alive. Michał Świerczewski took over the team, and it made an astronomical rise. Raków went from the
Just loves the camera.
yeah. Raków went from a small team, let's be honest, to champions of Poland, because at the moment I think they have 2 championships from the last couple of years. And I'm not gonna lie, you either love Raków or you hate Raków. Not from the point of fans, because they haven't had an established fan base in Ekstraklasa. So you either love that story of Cinderella going up the divisions, or you hate the fact that the guy is just throwing money at the club. And fair play, they don't have the biggest budget in the league. Fair play, they kept their coach for a long time. I think Marek Papszun, who is the coach, they went with him from 4th league to the Ekstraklasa and to the titles. There was a brief period when they let him go, but his assistant manager was training, and after that, Papszun is back at Raków now. You love it or you hate it. And Kovacevic was.
He must have been a big part of that then, sort of. Yeah, like you said, they've won a couple of league titles recently, and he's obviously only been was it Sporting? Well, contracted at Sporting for a season.
Yeah, I mean,
so he must have been a big part of sort of their recent success.
Sporting Lisbon paid like 5 million euros for him, so that money is one of the biggest transfer fees in Ekstraklasa. But you don't pay that kind of money for a person who can't do the job between the sticks. Like, let's be honest. He played in Ekstraklasa 90 games with Legia and with Raków, and he let 83 goals. So it's not even a goal a match. 38 clean sheets, and most of them coming from the starting 11. So it's not like he was start playing like, I don't know, exhibition matches and only the cup competition, which they won also. But yeah, he was unquestionable number 1 at Raków. At Legia, he had a worse spell, but he was brought up as not as a number 1, but someone who can reignite the competition between the sticks in Warsaw.
Yeah, no, it is like you say, because obviously I think the issue with Norwich fans is we did see a few highlight reels of his sort of time at Legia. He did make a few errors between the sticks, but then like you say, at Raków he was, the number 1. He was the go-to guy, and his stats in the Polish Premier League, 90 games played, 83 goals conceded. Like, I think that's ridiculous. And
if you manage to get a stats which say you concede a less than 1 goal in a match, I mean, that's outrageous. Even in Poland, you might say, but you have to think about that the Polish league is on an upward trajectory for kind of a long time. We just hit 15th place in UEFA coefficient rankings. So not this season, but next season, 2 teams in the Champions League qualifiers. The budgets are larger, which means the players are better, they are better paid, they are better prepared. And even if we're talking Kovacevic, he played in the Europa League 1 season with Raków. After one of the championships, I need to check, because I forgot which season it was. I think it was his last season at Raków. But yeah, if he really is a great goalkeeper, if he has the rhythm, if he is under play as we talk, if he is playing consistently, he can pull out amazing performances and amazing saves. I think the period at Legia is not representative of him as a goalkeeper.
So just to obviously, he was a consistent starter at Raków, and obviously,
undeniable number 1, undeniable.
just lost his sort of like you say, his rhythm, his consistency. He needs to be just sort of playing the number one week in, week out to build up those performance levels that obviously were so impressive that got him his move to Sporting Lisbon. And obviously when he moved to Sporting, he didn't get that consistent game time. And when he went to Legia, like you say, he wasn't brought in as a number one, just to add competition for those
Yeah,
goalkeeping
basically like
positions.
that. You hit the nail on the head because Legia also is a very specific club in Poland. It is the most decorated one. It someone might say it is the biggest one, and it's probably right because the capital and a lot of fans. So someone who knows the Polish league well, which Kovacevic might have known for being here for 3 years before. No, in Legia there is a different kind of pressure than in Raków. In Raków they were building history. They were basically becoming the first legends of the club. And in Legia, he had to keep up with the demands, and Legia fans are really demanding in that part that they expect basically championship or nothing less. And regarding the fact that they really uh, they have a dry spell of championships, a couple of Polish cups, but it's not enough for Legia. They played in the Champions League group stage in 2016, 2017. Someone might remember draw in Madrid 8-4 with Dortmund, beating, I believe, Sporting, if funny we should say that. But yeah, Legia fans are hungry always. They see their club as number one in Poland, so every player that plays for Legia is under bigger scrutiny than any other player.
Okay, so this is where I think like Kovacevic might then struggle a bit at Norwich because as Norwich fans, although we are known as little old Norwich, there comes with expectation. Obviously being in the second division of English football, we
Yeah,
always
I mean,
expect top six. Um, how do you think he'll fare with that? Do you think he'll step up to the job of like being able to fight for that top six spot? Obviously, he is our number one. That's announced, so he's going to get that game time. Do you think he'll be able to cope with that pressure of being making sure that we get into those promotion spots?
if he's a number one, I think he might be all right with that pressure because when he started at Raków, they were a contender. When they left Raków, he left them a champion, and He played all of 6 games in the group stage of Europa League in 2023, so he know how to play in important matches. He knows how to deal with pressure. But as I said, Polish football is very different from any
Yeah.
other branch of football, I might say. I mean, there are, I think, a lot of Reddit pages and Twitter threads from the best moments from Polish football. It is very different than any other league in the world, and I love it, even if with its quirkiness and stupid errors. But yeah, if Kovacevic can feel good at Norwich, that might be a number one factor regarding his performances. If he can make Norwich home, as he made Częstochowa his home, if he can feel that he's wanted, I think you'll have a great time with him.
Oh, perfect. I think that's what all Norwich fans want to hear. But thank you very much, Kacper, for coming on Bleed Norwich today.
My pleasure, mate.
It's been incredible hearing about sort of Vladan Kovacevic's life over in Poland and sort of how he could adapt into that Norwich City system. And I must say, you've got me even more excited about him. So you've done a good job.
I think you all should be excited for him. He's a great shot stopper. As it pains me to say this, he was great at Raków, and he will be consistent at Norwich, I believe.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much, Kacper, for coming on once again.
Thank you
And
very much once again for inviting.
no worries. And we'll see you guys, see you viewers next time.